22 seconds to play in the game. Overtime is off the board.
Yep.
Somebody's going to win a football game in the next minute and 22 seconds of football. So Steindorf standing back at his own 3-yard line. Kick is high, maybe a chance for a return here from Carter Bell. Nope, not even thinking about it. Takes the fair catch. And South Dakota starts at their own 41-yard line. Special teams, huge part of this fourth quarter. The leaping penalty called on Dennis Shorter took 3 off the board and allowed this. Marty Brown for his second rushing touchdown of the day. That made it 28-17 Bison. But Aiden Bauman and company came right back. 40-yard strike to Jack Martins to make it 28-23. USD got a stop, and now they get a chance to go win the football game. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. No timeouts remaining, and 1:16 on the clock. Bauman over the middle, finds Karan Adams. Adams tried to get toward the sideline, couldn't do it, and he's a yard short of the first down, so the clock continues to move. Bauman again. Finds Pierre, steps out of bounds. That stops the clock with 51 seconds remaining. Into North Dakota State territory to the 45-yard line.
It's a good job by Bauman just getting it out to the outlet, the safety throw, which is the Karan out in the flats. He catches it, gets the first down, and gets out of bounds.
This, Andre, right here is why you run all those 2-minute drills back in March. Is for a moment just like this, both offensively and defensively. Correct. In this situation. 1st and 10 South Dakota. Pressure coming from North Dakota State. And yes, USD jumped early. The right tackle, Bryce Henderson, I think is going to get flagged for this one.
Yeah, got to lean in backwards and couldn't keep that body.
Number 55,
from falling back.
Penalty, still first down.
So the clock was not moving, so there is no runoff here. And it stays at 49 seconds. And you can see Big 55. And he knew it right away.
Yeah, and once you get there, you know, unfortunately for those big boys, if they start leaning in a certain way, it's hard to pull that weight back.
So 1st and 15 now for South Dakota. Bauman steps up. Javion Phelps is there. Did he get a foot down? They say no. Great hit along the sideline by Jalen Crumby to knock him out of bounds and not allow him to get a foot down. Holy cow, inches away from a huge play for South Dakota.
And we mentioned earlier, you know, it used to be if you were coming down inbounds and got hit out, they would give you the benefit of the doubt. Here, if you come down out of bounds, you're out of bounds.
That's a catch. That's a catch. Right foot came down inbounds for Phelps. This is going to be a catch.
And it looked like it was some. If you zoom in a little bit, it looked like it maybe have been some green there in between the foot. So there, this might be a catch.
So I don't think there was any doubt that he maintained possession through this, completing the process. One of the favorite phrases of all football fans these days. But they just showed the replay inside the Dakota Dome, and I think our replays say the same story. Watch the right foot of Javion Phelps. Catch. Right foot is down, clearly inbounds. I mean, although the heel is down, Andre.
It doesn't come down.
The heel is not down.
The heel never touched. Oh, my goodness. That's a catch. That's a catch in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. The call on the field was that it was an incomplete catch. So we'll see. But you look at that replay, it looked pretty clear to me.
The whole front of his foot was down, and then he even pivoted.
He turned it, yeah, so that the heel never hit the white, yeah. Oh, wow, let's see.
You remember that in the NFL, though, at one point this season, they said if you're facing the sideline and you get the toe up, but your heels, it doesn't count as a foot down. Remember that?
I think I do.
I can't remember the game off the top of my head because of the moment here, but now his foot was not facing the sideline, it was facing the end zone there. Here we go.
After the review, it's been determined the receiver had possession with the foot inbounds at the 27-yard line. The That's first down.
Unbelievable. How about one more look? What a catch here by Javion Phelps. Took a shot from Jalen Crumby, who couldn't have done more as a defender in that situation. But a great job, sideline awareness, getting the foot down and maintaining possession all the way through the catch.
Toe tap, just a toe tap. Didn't put the heel down on the white, and we are in business.
Boy, Phelps has had himself a fourth quarter here, hasn't he? A couple of huge catches for him now. All the way down to the 27-yard line, 47 seconds remaining for South Dakota. Bauman steps up, finds Carter Bell, turns upfield, and he's brought down at the 15-yard line. First down, Coyotes. That stops the clock again and allows them to get set.
And they got to hurry up and get set. Guys are complaining about extra blocks and stuff. Get back and get set.
Bauman takes the snap. Pocket collapses, and down goes Bauman all the way back to the 25-yard line. They got to hustle now. The clock continues to move.
You got guys standing around.
22 seconds. Bauman takes the snap.
Doesn't clock it.
Look at wide open Javion Phelps. Touchdown, South Dakota!
And oh my goodness, can you believe that? The Bison got caught slipping. A team that usually does not make those kind of mental errors. I believe that they were thinking just like I would. He needs to down this football. And so they weren't paying attention, got out of place, and just forgot completely about Javion Phelps out on the edge. Coyote touchdown.
Javion Phelps has had a tremendous fourth quarter. His only 3 catches of the day. And the biggest one came right there. South Dakota's in front, 29-28.
It gives me shades of the old Dan Marino fake spike, where everybody's kind of standing around just assuming it's going to happen and he throws a touchdown. Well, here I believe the Bison were just assuming they're going to spike this football. They didn't pay attention, and they leave a wide receiver wide open, and the Coyotes cash in. Wow, what a ball game. What a ball game. This is what championship football is all about. This is what top 5 matchup is all about.
So a completely broken coverage there for North Dakota State, and Javion Phelps, I mean, he had to wait for the football.
Yes.
It was a little underthrown because I think Bauman was so surprised he was open.
And he had so many bodies close to him, maybe he couldn't really even try to step into it. Yotes are going to go for 2 here, try to make it a 3-point game. They tried for 2 on the last touchdown, didn't work. Here we'll see what Coach Davis, the OC, has drawn up.
Tice takes the snap, turns it up, it's not going to get close. And that hip drop tackle there from Eli Mostart. Just be smart, everybody. And there goes a flag.
And I think there's going to be on Mostart.
It's after the play, though, so it would be on the kick at this point.
Now, I do have to wonder, though. I know there are some people sitting at home watching, thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Like, I'm not quite sure about that particular play from the 7 for a 2-point conversion. It had to be some better options there, but and maybe they just wanted to avoid throwing the football and put the potential for a return.
That 15-yard penalty being forced on the kick. That's number 29's first and sporting penalty of the game.
The foul is called on Darius Givens. Top right of your screen. 29 was right down where Tice landed. And
there was a lot more scrum to that. We didn't get the full thing. It was right when he was getting up. I don't know if he maybe kicked the leg or a push or, Ndamukong Suh type situation. Because as soon as he stood up and disengaged is when the referee demonstratively threw his flag.
Well, Dre, we said, and we've reiterated several times, that this was a championship game in a lot of ways, a lot of different ways. Not only the implications, a literal championship with the Missouri Valley Football Conference, but everything that would result from it. You know, FCS playoff implications, seeding implications. And you always hope coming into a game like this that it just lives up to what it should be, what it could be. What do you think, partner? Are we there?
Yes. Yes. It has lived up to that and more, in my opinion.
So Zeke Mata, his job here is kick this down the middle of the field. The Bison immediately grab it, drop. Now this works out yardage-wise in favor of South Dakota because the Bison have to field the ball inside the 20. So they've got an extra 7 yards that had they kicked it through the back of the end zone,
right,
they wouldn't have had to go. But NDSU does have 2 timeouts remaining and 11 seconds to work with.
And you almost, I mean, if you follow football, you know that the Yotes are going to have their secondary play deep and keep everything in front of them. And the only thing that's catchy about that is you give up big chunk yards because you can go in between those guys, get catches, get out of bounds, and still get the yardage you need to possibly get in field goal range.
So Miller on first down, steps up, throws toward the sideline. It's caught in bounds. No, they say it's incomplete. Boy, that actually is a good thing for NDSU, although they would have used the timeout regardless, but instead they take 5 seconds off the clock. They gain no yards. And so it's really down to this at this point. They had to get something there. You know, and with the fact that Cam is a runner, like a running quarterback or can run, he's in his mind, he's going to hold it and think, let me see, and clock's going to be running. I don't think he's going to know that he's got to get this ball out in 3 seconds, whether they're there or not. It's either to a receiver or out of bounds. And timeout for Tim Polasek right before the snap. Boy, he just got that in before the snap went to Miller. I'm trying, partner, to wrap my head around everything we've seen in this last 15 minutes of football, and it's real hard. You remember North Dakota State, to start the fourth quarter, ran the last 19 plays of a 20-play drive that went 99 yards. They took 10 minutes and 53 seconds of the fourth quarter off the clock.
The whole quarter.
And at that point, led the game 28-17, and you're feeling like, wow, USD's got to get something and do it in a hurry. They did it.
Yep. We said that. We said they have to score fast in the next play. And touchdown.
And then they had to get a stop, and they did it. And then they had to get a score, and they did it. And now it comes down to this last 6 seconds here in Vermilion. Miller throwing to Lance. Lateral's coming. Miller throws it back the other way. Nelson keeps it alive. Here's Lance. Down he goes. And South Dakota, for the first time in program history, has won a share of the Missouri Valley Football Conference title.
And what a ball game, and what a way to do it when it looked at North Dakota State goes up 2 scores. It looks like it's over. South Dakota finds a way to come back and get it done to win in Vermilion versus NDSU for the first time in forever. And there are people down in Springfield, Missouri. The Jackrabbits from Brookings are saying, well, thank you, Coyotes. We appreciate a little share of that pie as well.
And SDSU has got a ways to go, but they're up 38-9 in the third quarter. If that holds, it will be a 3-way tie for the Missouri Valley Football Conference title between NDSU, South Dakota, and South Dakota State. But nobody in this building is worried about that right now. I'll tell you right now, the folks in red are going to have a good time tonight. Their team wins it 29-28 over North Dakota State. We'll hear from the champs when we come back here on Midcoast Sports.